all sounding relatively.
How do we look, guys?
You're in a moderated call. Oh, so Drew's the only one that control that. We're
What
live.
can I control? Yeah, we are, by the way.
Everything.
All right.
Yes, you are correct.
Hello.
Everything. What's up, everybody?
All right. So first of all, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode. What is this? 17.
17.
I feel like I ask that question every single time that we record,
Because you
but
do.
it's because I'm always kind of surprised that we've made it this far.
This is
So
true.
we're still here.
I can't be the only one that has wondered how we're still doing this.
My wife wonders every day.
17 weeks is a long time, man. That's pretty cool.
It is. That's
Toledo.
some longevity right there.
Yeah, definitely. So first of all, we'll just jump in by saying welcome to the LittleBigKast. The three of us are typically the three kind of amigos of the LittleBigKast. We are the official PlayStation podcast of the KT Data Network, and we're pumped to be live with you guys today. We're kind of going back to this remote broadcasting situation. Typically, we are recording from the basement of a haunted library in Ogden, Utah, and today we're kind of spread out a little bit.
Although you
that's
kind of
cool.
look like you're in a haunted basement already. That looks like.
Honestly, this basement floods anytime it rains, and it smells a little bit in here, so it might as well be haunted.
Sweet.
Yep. Anyway, we'll just get it kicked off. First
going
of all,
first?
though, I should probably introduce both of you. That would be nice.
Who am I?
With me today, as usual, my name's Jeff. With me today, as usual, Rachel Hernandez
Hello. It's
and
me.
Drew Tyler, the professor from the school.
Down under, from above under, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, who wants to go first?
Jeff, I think you should go first.
Jeff's
You never
day.
go first.
I don't ever go first, and this is like the worst. Actually, it's probably the best week for me to go first because I have almost nothing to say. So yeah, I spent last week up in Washington doing military things. I told you guys that it was kind of like my hobby that I'm not allowed to quit, and so yeah, I finished that up on Sunday. So my gaming has been very limited as far as what I've been playing. However, I was fortunate enough to be up in Washington with a friend who brought a PlayStation 3, and I talked him into picking up Mass Effect 2. So,
You're converting.
You're an evangelist. You always, yeah. Wow.
dude, Mass Effect. So did I say Mass Effect 3? I meant Mass Effect 2. So we got
You did
Mass
say
Effect 2,
2.
and man, I forgot how much I love this game. Like,
Cute.
just to be back in that world, to see Shepard, to see Tali, to see Liara, like these are characters that over the course of this game, like I really came to love, and to be able to watch my friend play it and to be able to watch him kind of make those decisions that will ultimately like dictate the fate of those people was a lot of fun. Outside of that, when I'm in Washington, I have nothing to do, so I typically end up kind of hanging out at the local Barnes & Noble and movie theater.
Nice.
Wow.
'Cause-
How often are you doing your hobby throughout the time that you're up there?
Classy.
Daily, all day?
Typically from like 7 o'clock in the morning until 5 or 6 in the evening, and then from there I'm like, well, I'll just go hang out at the bookstore because I'm got nothing better to do. So I saw
Well,
three
here you
movies.
got
I actually
library.
I saw 3 movies while I was up there. I saw 22 Jump Street, which was hilarious. Not quite as funny as 21 Jump Street, but it was still fun. And you were right, Rachel. Ice Cube is much funnier in this.
Right, though? I laughed my butt off that whole situation Jonah Hill was in.
Yeah, Channing Tatum jumping around, screaming about it. Yeah,
Just that little light bulb when it finally hit his head.
yeah, I don't want to spoil it. If you have a chance to see it, check it out because it is very funny. Outside of that, I saw for free at the Base Theater. I saw the new RoboCop. Which I liked it, man. You know what? It was a fun little movie. I like the old RoboCops. This was nothing like the old RoboCops, but it was still entertaining. And I also saw Million Ways to Die in the West, 1,000 Ways to Die in the West, whatever that is.
Something.
I don't know.
Also funny, I loved that the DeLorean was in it with Doc Brown, and yeah, it was a good time. Although, I've got to say this. People in Washington, for whatever reason, think it's appropriate to bring young children into R-rated movies. That is
Nice.
really, really strange to me. So at, what one was it? 22 Jump Street, someone brought in a freaking kid in a stroller that was old enough to be talking and had them watch this movie. And it almost makes it like, in fact, it does make it very difficult to enjoy myself. I'm like, that was a funny joke, but there's an innocent child next to me who is just having their life destroyed.
Yeah, they were innocent. Game over. Sorry.
Yeah, so the last time I was up there, I saw 300 a couple of months ago when it was in the theater still. Yeah, somebody brought like an 8-year-old kid, like an 8-year-old little boy into that movie. That is a freaking violent. Like, video games don't make people violent, but taking an 8-year-old to a rated R hyper violent movie,
parents.
Like that's just weird to me. Anyway, I'm done preaching and I'm done with my week. So.
That's all it is. It just makes me feel better as a parent that I'm smart enough to not do that. That's all. Hey, one from me.
Well, it's either
Rachel,
that or it's either that or it's like, all right, well, I'm judging them for bringing their kids to a movie that I also purchased a ticket to go see. So
yeah, but you don't have your child with you.
Yeah,
that's true.
You're an adult.
That's
all right,
true.
Rachel, what's up with you?
What up with me? Well, I went to a concert. That was pretty fun. It made me, I don't know, it was weird because like there are lots of 14-year-olds there, and I don't know. I'm at the age where like I'm realizing everyone's younger than I am, so it's like, So I don't know how you guys feel. I don't know if that's something. I don't know if this is something I'm gonna get used to, but it was just kind of like, oh, you're like.
You saying that just made me feel so freaking old. Dude.
I'm sorry, but anyways, that was a pretty big eye opener. But it was fun. It was a good time. It was in a really small venue, so it was really hot and sweaty, and I wanted to hit a 14-year-old. But that tends to happen at Kilby Court.
Dude, I love Kilby Court, though.
Isn't that awesome, though?
It's a nice place. That is nice.
There were kids, like, climbing on the ceilings as usual, and, like, one of the keyboardists had to be like, hey, can you guys, like, step down because you're all so high. Like, I can't see the back wall, guys. So it was pretty cool. It was a good time. And then I've just been busy because I told this lady, like, I would shoot this video for her and edit it for her, and I totally regret it, man. It's taking up so much of my time, and I spend my days with high schoolers, and it's just awful. So awful.
I feel like most of the time, like, especially with old women, if they're asking you for help for anything technology, you are going to regret it.
No. Like, oh, man.
You are going to have a bad time.
Right? Last year I edited their video for them, and that wasn't as bad, but this year they asked me to, like, help film it, so I actually have to, like, be there.
Be around them.
And that's the worst. I'm struggling. So it's taken up. I'm up there like every Tuesday and Thursday, and it's just awful.
Is this like a documentary on school?
Yeah, it's my own mother. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's like a pre-college prep program. So it's like, this is what we did all summer at the end of the program.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I am categorically opposed to volunteering or helping old women with anything technology. My own mother called me and has asked me to help her with a website, and she has no clue how to, like, if I tell her to go to Yahoo, she will not know what I'm saying. Like, I have to say, you have to type 3 W's and then a period and then Yahoo and then a period and a com. And I'm lucky if she makes it there.
No, that's...
Oh, wow.
And so so despite knowing nothing about technology, she is hypercritical of everything that you do with technology. So she'll be like, oh, I like this idea for a website, but can you move that 1/18th of an inch to the right? Like, no, that's just where it is. Deal with it. Like, so I don't help at all. That's me being a jerk again to family members.
Right? Grandma, mom, everything. Well, my dad's, like, technologically untroubled, too. Like, my dad, we were looking at our, like, data plans and stuff, and he uses, like, a lot more data than I do. And I was like, Dad, how come you don't use the Wi-Fi at home? And he was like, oh, I turn my Wi-Fi off when I leave the house. And I'm like, oh, no. No. But yeah, that's my fun story. But yeah, and then I touched Uncharted for a little bit, but then I had to go do stuff.
What do you mean you touched Uncharted?
Oh boy, no, awful. I took a selfie with Nathan Drake, and got like 14 likes on that one. Red, just hanging out with the babe. And then World Cup, a little bit of the World Cup, not a whole ton. But...
No basketball tournaments this week?
Oh, traumatizing.
Dude,
So traumatizing.
I was listening to our last podcast and listening to you talk about your basketball tournament, and I was picturing like an early 90s sports movie where like they're going through all the really tall athletic people, and then they they come to like this empty spot and the camera pans down and sees
That's my whole life story.
I think that's awesome. You're the underdog that everyone loves to watch.
It was awful. Like, I was probably I was the only girl in our bracket. There were like 13-year-olds in the younger bracket, but it was a sad day.
14, 13-year-old, you are set.
I look like them. I actually went to Station Park today, and I was looking at all the little kids' clothes because they're so much cuter. It was awesome.
I thought you were gonna say, and I was asked to prom, and that
was asked to prom.
That's what I thought was gonna happen.
Oh, that's really funny.
Anything else, Rachel?
Negative.
Very cool. We're gonna kick it over to Drew the Tyler then.
Drew the badass.
Drew Tyler the creator.
Week.
Can we call you
this week? The creator.
Drew Tyler the creator.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I can get used to that.
I wonder. It's like I've heard it before.
I make beautiful babies. That's all I do. They're cute. Speaking of, I really hope they're not destroying the house up there. I gotta put them down. What have I done?
No moms, no rules.
Yeah, it kind of is. Like, this is mom's out of town for a couple of days.
McDonald's for dinner every night.
So far, I've been good. I only have to do 2 days this time, and so far we've had I had full-on sandwiches for lunch with toothpicks through the middle. For dinner, we reheated. I actually ate leftovers for dinner, so tomorrow I can't promise anything, but
you're killing it.
Okay, so far I'm good. Yeah, so far I'm good.
Claire's about to go to France for a month, and I'm planning on Velveeta every night.
We'll have it over once a week, so at least your kid gets a little bit of nutrition. We'll take care of it.
Yeah. Peanut butter and jelly. That's fruits and vegetables.
Over to Tyler's house.
Yep. So other than that, all I've been doing really is finishing up the last week of school, and so I've got an online class, and I've got a ton of grading sitting in front of me. And as soon as we're done here, I got to start reading these 5-page papers, and I'm not excited about that. But
I shouldn't have had him do them. Teachers always complain. It's like, well, you didn't have to sign 80-20 page papers.
And technically, I got to say this too, Drew. I got an email from Kim Smith today saying that grades are not actually due for the 7-week course until August.
It's true. However, I can't use that excuse just because that's lame. I'm sorry. Especially, she actually did that. I mean, it's totally off the record because we're colleagues and all, but the thought has crossed my mind to send that note out and be like, just so you know, I don't have to do anything for 6 weeks. Leave me alone. But I've never sent anything like that. I will get them done, and I'll get them done in a timely manner. Two problems with this one. Yeah, right. 2 problems with this one is that I already made it. I felt like I made this lighter than it should have been for a full semester. Like the amount of work that they're doing, I felt like it's light. And then B, I had them up the cap because there's so many people on the wait list. I was like, well, I can take on 5 or 10 more, and so I had them move it from like 27 students to almost 40.
Wow.
Because the way it works with online classes is after 27, you get paid extra for every individual student. So I was like, bring them in. I'll take care of it. So
150. I'm down.
I'll do it.
This is why Drew Tyler has 5 stars.
Right? So this is what I just feel like. I'm a good teacher because I felt like, gosh, there's so many people that are going to have to wait an entire semester to take this course unless I can help them out. I'll help them out. That's like the nobleness, but at the same time, I'm like, had the check just a little bit, I'll take that too. That's nice, but really, I'm here to...
I'll help them out and get a PS4.
No. I'm paying for a broken dog league still. Okay, so game-wise, to get us back on track, game-wise, I have done nothing but Uncharted, and I swear I played that thing like 12 to 14 hours, and I still am at like 65%.
What?
I know.
We'll get into where you're at later, I guess.
It's true.
I was going to ask you where you're at, but we'll get into that in a bit.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. But that is what I spend a lot of time. Is just playing at nights, and I do a couple 3 or 4 hours and just playing. Oh, I also did another film festival, so I'll throw that out there. They did the Fantasy Con of the Film Quest, and so it was like the team. We were kind of like whatever. We wrote a script. We're like, easy enough. Let's go do it. So part of that script was a lot of compositing and effects, and I can't start on those until the film's shot, and we didn't shoot till late Friday. I didn't get the edit till late Saturday, so I had like 2 nights in which I spent probably 6 hours each night putting like glowing specks into orbs and tracking shots with like blowing up heads and stuff. And so it was fun because I've never done that, but I did spend an inordinate amount of time doing effects, and I loved it. So between that and Uncharted, that was my busy. Oh, and Child of Light, I did get a lot of that in with the girls.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of trophies pop up for that. How are you enjoying that?
I still love it. And in fact, I had to like the girls because I did play a little bit without them a little while ago. I had to like catch them up, and they're like, "Well, how did you get through the Tree of Thorns? How did you get to this place? And what's that spider doing?" Like I had to explain it to them, which was kind of fun that they wanted to know. So yeah, I'm cool.
Are they enjoying it then?
They are, yeah. I think they like it, and they'll hand me the big fights, but cool. They like to hand me the controller for the little spark guy, Nicholas, and say, "Dad, that's yours." So then I just get to fly him around.
That's
awesome. Good. It's good for me. Yep, awesome. Okay, I'm gonna run up and check on those kids real quick. Give me 3 minutes while you guys banter, maybe even start in the news.
All right, yeah, I'll get into the news. That's fine.
Yep.
Cool.
Right on. So we are going to kick it over to the news right now, and
let's actually just talk smack on Drew now that he's not here. Let's just
talk mad crap. What an overachiever!
Those needed fedora hats. Come on.
What's up with Drew thinking he needs to be like, a teacher who does his job?
Please.
Come on. Have some self-respect, Drew. Seriously. Hard work is overrated.
Ew.
You think you're better than everyone because you work harder than everyone?
I can't wait for him to see this. if he sees this.
Yeah, it'll be a while. We'll just jump right into news. Are you cool with that?
Yeah.
And I'll kind of spearhead it. So we'll give it a little gap for our audio that I have to put in later. By the way, for all you people watching live, I'll have you know that I spent nearly 2 hours trying to figure out how to insert sound effects into this stupid Google Hangouts thing, and it doesn't work. So, I'm sorry. I tried.
Also, if you have any suggestions, or if you use Google Hangouts and know something, tell us, help us, because what we
there's a group chat. You can add to, if you're watching this right now, chat at us. Let us know what you think, because if you know a secret to make Google Hangouts work with sound effects, I would love to hear it, because I thought I was pretty tech savvy, and apparently I'm just mental, and I don't know how to do anything. So, first news item of today is...
You're definitely being productive.
Yeah, we're going to hop right into, first of all, the PlayStation Plus in July. So we'll go through, kind of break down what they are offering for us. So, first of all, new on the PlayStation 4, we have Towerfall Ascension and Strider. Why are you laughing, Rachel? What's going on?
Because Drew comes back with the box of Twinkies. Oh, I was joking. The kids.
Yep, kids are fine. All 3 of them are out like a light.
Yeah, after he gives them some sugar, I'm sure.
An overdose of Twinkies.
No. They had to finish their lasagna first.
Of course.
Carry on.
All right.
So PlayStation Plus, go.
Yep, I'm on PlayStation Plus now. So new on the PS4, we're technically gonna actually be getting 3 games this month. Only 2 are listed though. So we have Towerfall Ascension, and then Strider. Strider is pretty sick, and I'm really excited about that. But we're also getting a Vita game that is cross-platform, and that is called Doki Doki Universe.
Which looks really cool.
Yeah, I think it looks fun. I think they showed, if I'm remembering, Drew, they showed a clip of this, or had a demo of it at CES this year.
Does this look like Scribblenauts? Is that the one I'm looking at? What is this kind of a...
It kind of looks like Scribblenauts.
Yeah.
It kind of almost reminds me of Homestar Runner, just like a tad bit.
Yeah, it kind of does look like that.
So I think that looks pretty cool. For PlayStation 3, you're looking at Dead Space 3, which is, if you're into scary games and not sleeping well, it's about necromorphs, and it's a scary one. Also, they've got Vessel, which is a 2D action puzzler. So a lot of good games coming out for the PS4 and PS3. Also on Vita is Lego Batman 2 DC Superheroes. Cool. So a lot of good games coming up. It's important to remember, even if you don't own these systems, you need to be hopping on and downloading, or like queuing up these downloads, because this month in July, leaving the PlayStation Store for PS Plus. So these will no longer be offered as free games. Pixel Junk Shooter Ultimate for the PS4, Trine 2: The Complete Story for the PS4, NBA 2K14 for the PS3, Sly Cooper: Thieves in Time for the PS3, Puppeteer for the PS3, Lone Survivor for the PS3, Dragon's Crown, and Surge Deluxe. Was Dragon's Crown just Vita, or was that PS3 as well?
No, that's just Vita. I don't think I got that because I've done pretty well at grabbing everything that I can get my hands on. Thanks to you and your highfalutin tips, I've started to grab everything, knowing that someday, 10 years down the road, I'll have my PS4 and maybe a Vita. So I am grabbing games as you suggest.
Yeah, and I mean everybody should be doing that. It's too good of a deal not to.
Are you doing it, Rachel?
Yes.
So what are you guys looking for? I mean, what on here looks good to you? Does anything look good to you? Are you interested in any of the stuff you're seeing here?
I tried to get into the Dead Space series, but I don't. Okay, the reason why I didn't complete the Dead Space series is because I couldn't beat one stupid minigame on the first level. Oh, I couldn't get the achievement, so I stopped playing the whole series altogether. But I definitely pissed myself a couple of times.
The first level?
It was like chapter. I was so close to beating the game, but it was one stupid basketball minigame, and I just couldn't. I couldn't do it.
That
I couldn't do
sucks.
it, and then I couldn't beat the game because of it. I just had to stop. But yeah, I think Doki Doki looks awesome just because I like stupid little kid games, and that's what it looks like. So.
I could do that. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right, I'm going to pass it over to Drew then. Drew's now in charge of his news.
All right, I'm taking over some of the news, Twinkie style. Number 2, PlayStation 4 Wave Blue DualShock 4 controller coming stateside this fall. You probably heard of this, the black and blue. Is that the one we're talking about?
Yep.
On its way this fall. Let me see if I can do a screen share here. It's kind of sexy looking. Let me throw a screen share. Click, go. There you go. It's nice. It's pretty. I like the way it looks. I like. Gosh, I really like it. It feels pretty. What do you guys think? I mean, I don't know what else there is news to say except for it's coming $59 right after the PS4.
I would like a
think the
Tickle
white
Me
one
Pink
looks better.
version. Yeah.
Oh, the Glacier White one.
Yeah, I think I still am. I'm still too big of a fan of the Glacier to really fall for anything else right now. I think it looks cool. And I mean, I don't have any reason to have more than one controller unless we start doing more live streams of gameplay together, which I'm down for. I think it would be a lot of fun to do that. But I like the white one better. I think the white one looks sick.
That contrast, though.
Mm.
I don't know. Still think it looks good. Not saying it doesn't look good. What about you guys? What do you think?
I think it looks cool. I think it looks good. But I don't have a PS4, so.
You can use a DualShock 4 on several PS3 games. So if you know it'll work, they are much better controllers. Just saying.
That's what I hear. They do feel a lot better.
Yeah, they're
Tiny little children's
fantastic.
hands.
Did Drew bounce?
That's
I'm
what
not
I was
seeing-
wondering.
Drew, you around there?
I literally watched his box disappear.
All right. Do you want to?
Should we call him back? Should we?
I think he can rejoin us. I'm gonna let him rejoin us. So I'll just move on with the news.
There he is.
I'm sorry, I fell out. I'm so sorry.
We just watched you disappear.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry. Did I miss something? Or are we ready to move on to the next one, number 3?
Nope.
What
we can jump to
happened?
number 3 now.
Okay. I was trying to close out some windows and fat fingered it. Okay. Batman Arkham Knight's PlayStation 4 exclusive download content is going to bring back Scarecrow. That coming from WeGotThisCovered.com. Thoughts on that little exclusive DLC for PS4?
I think it's very cool. Did either of you guys play the Arkham City or Arkham Asylum games?
I
Okay,
played
so-
Arkham City, but only for a little, tiny bit.
Yeah, so the Scarecrow levels basically are times where Batman's drugged and you're having some kind of hallucinogenic trip and fighting these crazy big monsters and stuff, which sounds weird, but it actually worked really well in the game. Is a lot of fun.
That's funny because like games have been doing that because in Watch Dogs you have the digital trips, and then in Grand Theft Auto you smoke marijuana and you go on those crazy, crazy things. So
It makes games
And
more
I'm
fun.
not a fan of
Interesting.
the digital trip at all.
I love it. What?
Really?
Bouncing on
Really?
flowers and having a giant spider robot was pretty bomb. Those are my two favorite.
Nice.
But yeah, so cool. I don't know. I don't play the
I like
series, so.
I think it'd be fun. I love that they do exclusive content and DLC for different
For us.
platforms. Yeah, exactly, for us. I like that. I'm okay with that. Next one, number 4. This one is kind of exciting for those of you that know what it is, but it's not really my bag. So I'll just let Rachel tell us what it's all about. The Legend of Korra.
See, so Legend of Korra is coming out with the game. It's going to be a third-person combat game based on the Nickelodeon television show. And if you like the Avatar series and you didn't know about Legend of Korra, it's actually a spin-off from that series. And it's pretty sweet because Korra's a girl and she's pretty badass. But
Which
it's
makes
also, yeah, it'll be on PC, Xbox, Xbox One, 360, PS4, PS3, all of the above. And then they're also coming out with like a turn-based strategy version of it for the 3DS. So that'll be cool. Just pulling out my earphones like always. But I don't know.
I don't
I
know
think it's
enough
cool.
about it. Cool.
I think the reality is the people that are into Korra are going to lose their minds.
Right.
Legend of Korra has a huge following.
Because she's so cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's all I've got to say.
Well, okay. Moving
Very
on.
cool. Moving on. Number 5, I believe this is, looking at the Destiny stats for Destiny's Alpha that Jeff is a part of. How cool. The stats have come out. They just released them. What are the key stats on this? Almost 6.5 million games since they kicked off in like June 12th, like 2 weeks ago or less, right?
Yep.
So that's what else? What else popped out to you there, Jeff?
So I thought what was cool, first of all, I think it's cool that Destiny released this information. It's always fun to hear about how successful a game was. And so obviously an alpha is about testing their servers. It's about making sure that the game can play well and that it can be handled correctly. So 6.5 million games over a 4-day period is pretty impressive considering it was a closed alpha.
This is true.
They go and break down 1,100 deathless medals were awarded in the Crucible, which is the PvP zone. 4,000 splatter kills with the Sparrow, which is the little kind of jet bike that you're cruising around on. 4 million heavy weapon kills, 6 million player games played, 6.8 million control points captured in the Crucible. 21 million super ability kills, 21 million secondary weapon kills. Like, it's just fun, man. 149 million primary weapon kills.
So
to hear, yeah, totally. And to hear these stats and to know that, like, with all of those things happening within an alpha, that it still ran so smoothly and that it still worked out as well as it did, is pretty telling as far as like how prepared these guys are for the launch in September and for the beta that's coming to PS3 and PS4. And actually, yeah, I think just PS3 and PS4, July 17th.
Which is not far away. Not far away. More Destiny news for our next news bit. The fact that the PlayStation exclusive content got detailed out in full. This coming from Eurogamer.net, and they've added some great information about the details. Yes.
Yeah, specifically, this goes through the, they've talked about exclusive weapons, exclusive missions, and we actually talked about this last week.
Right.
The difference is that Activision has officially come out and said, has told Eurogamer that Destiny's PlayStation exclusive content will remain exclusive until at least the fall of 2015. So if it ever gets handed out to everyone, it will not be before fall of 2015. So Sony's got a pretty good grip on the exclusive titles that are coming out. And one thing, I didn't want to throw too much Destiny into our conversation today because we spent a lot of time last week, but there's also an article that came out earlier this week that talked about the fact that Bungie helped the PlayStation 4 design the DualShock 4, and that a lot of the DualShock 4 was designed with Destiny in mind, which I thought was very cool, because if you've held the DualShock 4 in your hand, you'll appreciate like how good it feels, and like it feels like it was made for a shooter, and with Destiny it just felt perfect.
That makes sense. That makes good sense. I'm excited to see it. Maybe we should all just get together and play Destiny at Jeff's house.
Yes.
Let's do it.
His wife's out of town. It's party day.
I'm dead serious. Let's set something up.
Tell your homie to bring his chair.
Yeah, the beta will be live.
Actually, let's just do it at his house. Yeah, no kidding. He gave me keys last week.
Yeah,
Sweet.
July 17th, so let's do it.
That'd be great. Bring Velveeta for your kid. It'll be awesome.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Last little bit of news, and I think this is probably just an interesting one from BGR.com, saying that the Sony execs were dancing in the streets watching the Microsoft folks kind of shoot themselves in the foot last year at E3, so they're just kind of, the quote is dancing in the aisles. So just kind of a fun story. I think you got to expect that would have happened, but it's kind of fun to hear their side of the story a year later, basically just saying, oh yeah, when they announced that it was 100 years more expensive than the one we just launched, we were like, yes, feeling pretty good. So it's kind of a fun story to look back at.
Yeah.
Yeah, and while it's not news, I thought it was hilarious. Like, you don't typically expect a Sony executive, like an executive of a company, to come out and trash talk someone. And I mean, his quote is pretty funny. He's like, "I'm not gonna lie, I remember exactly where I was. We were in the press conference rehearsal last year. We had a feeling that they were going to come in at $4.99, but we weren't sure. So yeah, we were dancing in the aisles and high-fiving. It was great. Anyone that came in on an interview, it didn't matter what the question was, I could always answer with $3.99. It was the answer to every question."
Answer is $3.99. That's awesome. That's so solid. So pretty darn cool there. And they're just saying that it's gonna be. Never know with the console wars. PS3 was in third place after a while after they announced that generation of consoles. So it constantly is going to keep updating. But
totally.
That, my friends, is a lot of news, and it's all yours.
Then we will kick it straight over to Rachel for the new releases.
Do.
Yep. Okay, go, Rachel.
This hand is the motion for that. Okay, so June 25th, some things that have come out or came out today or come out whenever have been out by the time you hear this is the Swapper Transformers Valiant Heart End of the World, the 20th Anniversary Edition. Cool beans. Not interested in any of those.
I think Valiant Heart looks cool.
It does look pretty cool, I guess. July. Wow. July 1st is Sniper Elite 3, Dynasty Warriors, Gundam Reborn, and also Guacamelee Super Turbo Championship Edition for the PS4 only. So if you didn't get a chance to play Guacamelee, it was our indie game a while ago. It's pretty awesome. So I'm not sure what's special about this Super Turbo Championship Edition, but I don't know. Yeah. So July 3rd, we have Call of Duty Ghosts Invasion. Totally spelled that wrong. And then July 8th, we have One Piece Unlimited World Red. If you're a One Piece fan, there's a video game coming out, and I know people who wanted to buy a PlayStation 4 just for this game. We also have Mousecraft, and then on July 15th, we have Abyss Odyssey and Saints Row 4 National Treasure Edition. So,
Mousecraft? I'm very interested in this Mousecraft. That just speaks to me.
It's a cheesy game. That's really what it says in the because I was curious about what it was too, but I think it's a puzzler, and you're a mouse, and you probably need to get cheese.
I'm all right with that.
All right.
So I'm tempted to pick up Valiant Heart. It's a game it's another kind of half indie game by Ubisoft. It's developed by Ubisoft Montpellier, and it basically is a very heavy story-driven game about World War I and about several characters and the sacrifice and the friendships kind of that exist between these people as they survive the horrors of war. I think that one looks really cool. And then, honestly, I'm tempted to get Guacamelee again on the PS4.
On the PS4.
That game is just fun, man. Like,
It was awesome. Also, Drinkbox Games has another game we should probably do as an indie game.
Oh, they have another one?
They have a couple of them, actually. I think
I'm down.
You make things, yeah.
right? So video game developers do.
Yeah, they make stuff. They make more.
Right.
Hopefully.
What? But yeah, so that's my contribution.
Right on. Then should we just move straight into
Our anti-indie game of the week.
our anti or non-indie game of the week? Yeah, let's do it. And Rachel, you're still in
Indie game.
charge.
Indie game.
Non-indie game of the week.
All right, so this week we decided to play Uncharted, Drake's Fortune, just the first one. It's by Naughty Dog. It is directed by Amy Hennig, and the writers were Neil Druckmann. Composers were Greg Edmondson, and that's the one thing I think that stuck out to me in the game the most was just kind of like the sudden noises, like, you know what I mean?
Da, 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 da.
Da. Like, you knew some stuff was going to go down when you hear, like,
Yes.
violence in the back, right? Like,
Yeah.
it was pretty cool. So anyways, if you don't know about the story about Uncharted, on Drake's Fortune, it's an action-adventure, third-person shooter platformer game developed by Naughty Dog, published by Sony Computer Entertainment. It's the first game in the Uncharted series, and it combines, like, action and some platforming stuff and just adventure, basically. Like, the way Jeff explains it is if Lara Croft and Indiana Jones would have had a baby, it's probably Nathan Drake.
A sexy, sexy baby.
Oh,
Sexy baby for sure.
Yes, and Nathan Drake is the protagonist. He's like the guy you play, and he's on a search for gold for El Dorado, and there's this chick with a video camera who's hanging out with him and some other people, and they're looking for treasure, like any good treasure hunter. Elena Fisher is the name of this female with the camera.
Yes, it is.
Elena, I find her annoying.
As good as Nathan is.
You did.
Elena's got to get that scoop.
She was.
Right. I didn't like her. She was obnoxious.
She was a little obnoxious, but she was cute. She became a little more endearing as things went on. It was kind of like until I'd get in like a firefight and she'd just be sitting there and I'd be like, "Are you taking any of these guys out, or is it all me?"
At least she's not like screaming, "Leon, help! Leon!" Oh,
What is that one from?
Resident
GTA.
Evil 4.
Oh.
Is it Resident Evil?
Yeah. Leon! Leon! You're like, shut up! And you just want to shoot her instead of the zombies.
That's funny.
Awful.
So what did you guys think? So this was my choice of game, right? And I chose a non-indie game for our indie game of the week. So I kind of
You set the
flipped
rules,
it on its
man.
head.
They're your rules.
Right. So the reason I picked this is Uncharted is a must-play game. In fact, the Uncharted series is a must-play series. Like, it's a game that deserves to be played. It kind of defined, for most people that have played the series, has kind of defined the last generation of what can be accomplished on a console. So, what did you guys think? Like, what was your experience?
Dang.
Sure, you
Bless
go
that.
first.
Bless that. I'll tell you. I'll take it for a second. Because I started this one a ways back, and then I tried to get my wife moved off of the dark, weird Tomb Raider, and start the storyline with her. And clear. That's why I was listening for the kids. I thought I heard things going bump. No, so that was fun, but we were kind of doing the two storylines at once, and when we get a break, she was more interested in knowing what was happening with the Tomb Raider. And when we finished that, I pushed forward with the Drake, and I've enjoyed it. I got to a point where we had just last night I played for a couple hours, and I should have been grading papers, and we just taken the jet skis for the second time. So I was riding the jet skis for the second time, racing
Up the
You're
river.
like right where I am.
up the river the second time, dodging those
With
things
the barrels?
and dodging the barrels.
Up the stream, and it was freaking impossible.
It was nearly impossible. Yeah, it took me about
It's
14 times.
stupid.
But it made me sick. Like, I got motion
Oh.
sick, and I
can
couldn't,
see that.
like, I could not play more till I could finish it because I was like, I'm just like, trying to get all the way up, and I would.
It was the worst thing to control.
I finally,
That's
I kept
hilarious.
like, I'd sit down and I'd walk around for a bit. I even got to my wife's essential oils and sniffed some peppermint. I was like, I gotta settle down. Gotta settle down. Okay, I'm fine. because it was bad, and usually it's only like FPS shooter styles that where you only have the barrel of the gun at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah.
But that one level did it to me. But I was able to get past it, and I played about 10 minutes or so. I really feel like I put a lot of time into it, and I wasn't doing that well with it. It's just those fights. I was not that good. I think I just not. I have like drunk thumbs or something because my crosshairs are all over. As for the whole story, I think I like the story. I like the idea that he's hunting for this fortune. I enjoyed the kind of story as it was developing, and now it's like, oh, well, now we have to go up to this, up to Sanctuary to figure out how to get off this island, or this guy. What was that other guy that was supposed to be with us? That like Sully, right? So figure out what he's doing or whether he's good or bad. So I am enjoying that, and I think
he's even alive.
I saw him. They had footage. So my take on it is, I think I'm enjoying it because I really want to like 2 and 3, and I expect that I'm playing a game that's like 7 years old.
Yeah.
So as I play, I think this is a great base. I'm excited for the gameplay and the graphics and the move forward of 2 and 3, and I want to get through this one so I can play those. So this is kind of like eating my vegetables before I get my Twinkie.
Right. That's actually, honestly, that's like a perfect description of it, and that's why I felt like I needed to have us do the first Uncharted and just muscle through it and get through it, because like when it came out, that was pretty revolutionary. Like the visual, like the way that game looked for the time 7 years ago was incredible. But the step forward that they took to Uncharted 2 was insane. I mean, the Lara Croft game that you just played, the Tomb Raider game that you just played, could not have existed had it not been for Uncharted 2 and 3. Like
I think
it absolutely could not have existed. It was built honestly on the back of that game, and I don't know. Yeah, Rachel, what do you think?
Well, I had a problem with because I had started it a while ago as well, but I just got so distracted with R&D games and just like other games that came out. So the last game that I really got into is Watch Dogs, and let me tell you, those controls are completely opposite. So like I was trying to get back into like the Uncharted zone, and I would think like X is to cover because that's what it is in Watch Dogs. But no, it's to jump. So I'm like literally in the battlefield just jumping around and just, that was awful. And like I have my automatic aim on Watch Dogs to make it easier, and there is no automatic aim in this game.
No, there's not.
No, and that beat me.
Yeah, it's a lot tougher. So I don't know, just the two contrasting games, it's taken me a second to finally be like, oh, okay, so this button is to melee, and this button is to shoot, and this is to cover, and just taking me a second, but I do love this game, just so much about it, just like the story and how cinematic it is. Like there's a scene, it's early on in the game, but you're like running and everything starts to break beneath you, and just how the camera like goes over his head and to the front of you, and then it's awesome, right? It's like you wouldn't, that wasn't a thing in video games before, like camera angles, come on, right?
And it only gets better. That's like, in fact, the first Uncharted, I remember playing it and being like, I've never played a game that felt kind of like I was watching a movie. And with each iteration of this series, it just gets better and better. And like I told you, my wife, for Uncharted 2 and 3, like, she would call me when I was at work and be like, when are you coming home? I need to know what happens next. And I think you see that a lot with games where like the first one is a trial run, and you know what, like it's a new group of guys together building something, a brand new story together, and then once they realize that they've got something that is good and that is a winning IP, to see what they can do with Uncharted 2 is nothing short of extraordinary. The intro alone to Uncharted 2 is one of the most memorable gaming experiences that I've ever had.
I'm so ready for it. I'm ready.
So you guys see yourselves playing through the next couple games?
I think so.
Yes.
I'm gonna try and power through. It's the vegetables I'm eating here. It's the game, the shooting. I get into this firefight and it's like 50 guys around, and I have to know where to hide when, and I'll get.
And that's one of the things that
7 times.
Yeah, that's one of the things that with Uncharted 2 and 3, they never fully get rid of that. Like the firefights are always hard in the Uncharted games, but it is not like it is in Uncharted. The first Uncharted is brutal with their firefights. So kudos to you guys for sticking it out.
Question, what guns do you guys use? Because in the game you can only hold 2 guns.
Right,
Which
it
ones
must
do
be
you
true, I
go
guess.
for? Which ones
I love the shotgun, and then if I can pick up the bigger one that has that like smoke trail behind it, you only get like 2 or 3 shots.
Oh, that's boss. Like the hand cannon thing?
Yeah. If I have that, I'll use that for a couple minutes. What else? And then the other one is just that little 9mm.
Right. I think the 9mm is probably my favorite. I usually go for that over the hand cannon, always.
Yeah, the 9mm is
holds a lot more.
one of the more efficient weapons in the game. I also love the M16 when I can find ammo for it.
I always get the AK. Always. I'm AK Queen over here. I love it, yeah.
It moves too much for me.
Recoil down. I got it down.
See, that's what I can't do because it's like, go.
I like start in the stomach and then I just let it trail all the way to his head. Mm-hmm.
Why didn't I think of that?
So as far as we are in the game, I'm only on chapter 13. There's 22 chapters. And Drew, if you're where I'm at, you're probably around there. Is it Sanctuary, question mark? Is that where you are?
No, I think I'm a little past that now, but maybe
Going
that's about
underground?
it. I'll have to find out.
I
haven't gone underground, so maybe that's it. I haven't gone underground, so that's probably you're right. You're probably right. So I got 10 more to go.
It's about to get scary.
Yep, you have about 10, 11, 10, 9. I can't. What's math?
Dude, if I don't have to walk through the if I don't have to ride that stupid jet ski again, I'll make it. I'll be okay.
I was so mad. They're like, the jet ski was already like a pain in the butt to handle. They're like, you know what we should do? We should have like barrels spawning in an up river, like just spawning over the waterfall.
That's funny.
It was rough. It was rough. I was just shooting the whole time, just driving and then shooting with the left button just to get him before I hit him.
But it's hard not to love Drake, right?
Oh, but he's still the best man ever.
Isn't he a great character? Seriously, like
he's perfect.
Like he's the jokes that he makes and Sully too, man. Sully is hilarious. Like what was it that I?
Is he a good guy or a bad guy? I don't know right now.
No, at the very beginning of the game, he says something.
He died.
So Sully's talking about. He's like, I just want to get my payoff, man. That's all I want to do. I want to get my pay. And he's like, and Drake's like, oh, so you're a man that's all about the climax. The women must love you.
That's right. I remember that.
Like I love the banter between Sully and Drake. I feel like it's two friends. Like that's two guys that are, you know, searching for, like, they're believable characters. That's what's so great about Drake and Sully is like they're two guys that just sit around. They sit around and just talk freaking.
They're not 14-year-olds, Rachel. They're real men.
Not real.
They are real men. That's what real men talk about.
Drake.
So now I'm tempted to play this thing tonight instead of grading papers. Thanks.
I know. I think I'm gonna play it tonight after this. How much time do we have left? What should we do? Let's just stop right now.
And mom's not home tomorrow, so I could play all night long while the kids are sleeping, and then at like 7 a.m. I'll put on a movie and I'll be like, you guys watch Netflix for 10 hours. I'm going back to bed.
That sounds like a deal.
Right?
That sounds like such a great idea.
I'm not going to end up on the news or anything for negligence. No.
So here's the key: is what you do is you go get one of those door locks that's too high for your kids, the little chain locks. You turn all the gas off, lock the kids in the house.
No problems can happen.
You're fine.
Child thought way too much.
Yeah, you thought way too much about this.
My wife's about to be gone for a month. These are the plans I need to be making now.
That's smart in a way.
Safety for the kids all the way around.
I'm just gonna knock on your door from time to time, be like, Oliver, you okay?
Just come check on
Is Dad around? Is he on his computer?
Yeah, just
seriously.
Lift up one headphone, whisper in his ear, tell him we're checking on you.
Yeah. Anyway, so obviously, I think it's safe to say that this is a game that needs to be played. But
don't expect the greatest of things. That will come in time.
You need to understand that this is the first game in a brand new IP in a brand new series, and
7 years ago.
It's
it
promising.
is 7 years old. Yeah, like what other games were coming out 7 years ago that created the phenomena that Uncharted created? Like that alone should make you trust the company that made it. If you've played The Last of Us, like The Last of Us was built on the back of Uncharted. Like everything, like Naughty Dog has become what it is today because of Uncharted. So yeah, pick it up, check it out. The first one is a little rough, it's a little dated, but it's still a game worth playing, and I think an important game in the history of gaming. It showed people what you could do cinematically and the lengths that you could go in the mature way that you could tell a story.
Amen.
I'm just bummed that I only have 20 treasures out of 61 right now. So
That's a little
I have
disappointing,
9.
Rachel.
I have
that's
9.
all I have. Oh,
You're
You
doing
win.
all right then.
well then, never mind.
That's hilarious. Anyway, so we'll jump in. We're going to skip one of our topics today, and we're just going to jump into topic number 3. So there was an article in Here and Now. So this is a local, looks like, website out of Chicago, I think. But I first heard about this on an NPR broadcast that there are colleges around the nation that are giving out athletic scholarships to League of Legends players. And I wanted to kind of get into this with you guys. The article starts out by saying, parents take note. You might want to pause for a moment before you tell your teenager to put down the video games and do something, actually anything else. For the first time ever, a university is offering generous scholarships, athletic scholarships, to students who play League of Legends multiplayer video game. And it goes on to kind of quote the school's athletic director, Kurt Melker. He says, on giving sports scholarships to video game players, he says, there's no physical activity, but we also offer scholarships for our bowling teams.
Right.
We do so for our choir and for our band. Each of them has a level of physical ability and also a level of skill. Certainly League of Legends is no different than, say, the skill required or amount exerted as bowling.
That's true.
He continues by saying that on the size and quantity of these scholarships, he says, we're planning on having 3 varsity teams. It's 5 versus 5. I think it makes sense to have 8 or 9 per team. The kids could get, for the best players, probably 50% tuition and 50% room and board, which comes out to almost $19,000.
Is that for an entire 4 years? He doesn't really specify if that's like 4 years or if that's like...
Yeah, it's not specified for the 4 years, but I would imagine that $19,000 would cover a year.
Oh, it had to. I mean, you could do... granted,
You could do 2 years. You could probably do 2 years at a smaller college.
Room and board, I guess room and board is considered because I think we're about 20... Yeah, I think you're right.
And then the last quote that they mention here is on creating university esports teams. He says, the culture of gaming environment is all-nighters fueled by Red Bull and going at it hard. So I think we'll have to put reverse elements into it, saying, hey, stop practicing, take it easy, make sure you're studying, get to class, and make sure you're a good citizen within the university. But I think, honestly, well, first of all, I'll kick it to you guys. Like, what do you guys think about this? We are kind of in a unique place as a podcast. I am a soon-to-be graduate. Rachel's got a couple years ahead of her, and Drew is a professor. And so,
dude, I play one on TV. I play one on TV. I'm not a real professor. I pretend.
But I mean, we are in kind of a unique position that, like, our perspective is one that is probably unique. We're students, we're teachers, we are also gamers. Like, what do you guys think of this?
Rachel, what do you think?
I mean, when did gamers get such like a negative impact? I don't know. I'm not gonna say like jocks are dumb, but I know some pretty slow-minded people on football scholarships, and it's like almost insulting to like the people who play League of Legends who are like geniuses, just like complete, nerds. Like nerds are smart, or nerds. They're I don't know. I feel like it should be rewarded. It is just like a normal activity, and it can benefit lots of things. Can you imagine, like, instead of a sports team, like a League of Legends team at a college? What if that's
walking around with all the chicks?
Right? Wouldn't that be hilarious?
All the cheerleaders.
Have you guys seen
that's the next
there's a whole
step?
there's a whole YouTube series that Freddie Wong put out. It's the Video Game High School series. Have you ever seen that? It's
No.
this like futuristic well, not futuristic, kind of futuristic, but it's like this what if world if basically where high schools compete with video game teams. And it's entertaining. It's very interesting. It's kind of like Saved by the Bell-esque, but the teams that are like the jocks of the school are video gamers. So, but on this note, like, what do I think about this? Having dealt with a lot of athletics, a lot of scholarships, and having done like the last 5 years of trying to understand this whole higher ed type of thing, I have serious issues. I gotta watch what I say here because I'm sure this is going on the record somewhere. But I do have serious issues with as much money and effort and time and all that is put into the athletics department in the hopes that for them it's like recruitment, right? If we got a good football team, if we have a great football team, then we can move up into Division 1 or Division 3 or whatever they do with those things. And they put so much money into those things to like raise the name and the status of the school, which if they would put that much money into grants and other things in engineering, in auto mechanics, in video production, they could have just as many kudos, right? I mean, you could have just as much of a draw, but what I don't understand why sports holds the I don't get it.
Because America.
Because America.
Because America.
I feel like that this is a fantastic thing. I'm excited to see that these guys. Which university is this? Robert Morris? Is that what it's?
Yeah.
Robert Morris University. Yeah. It's in Chicago. This to me is groundbreaking, and I hope more universities will take a chance on this. And like you say, I think the kids that play these things are smart. I think they're logistically just there's the teamwork you have to do.
Right.
There's
the skill.
Every bit as much, and probably even more so than 12. However many guys get on a football team. How many are on the field? 11 at a time? 10? 9? I don't know. Rugby. So I think that there's just as much that has to happen there, and I think this probably comes from me, maybe you guys as well, feeling like not the most athletic guy. I never would stand a chance playing football with anybody.
I tried
let
playing
alone
basketball.
That's exactly what I'm going for, right? We have other skills and talents that should be rewarded. Now, they mention in here, and I totally second all of these thoughts, and I can't believe that they have this guy. This is the athletic director.
Yeah.
I don't think I know any athletic director that would say these things as and have this point of view. Every athletic director I know of is like, me, like, play sports. You, hit field, run. This guy is like, I get it. This is a different world, and we're gonna try this out because we think that these kids do have something to offer. This blows my mind, and I think it's awesome.
Right.
Absolutely.
I just imagine the motivation. Like if you give these kids motivation, like come to your school, then they could do like great things, man.
Yeah. And I totally agree with like keeping them on task. Like he says, like almost have to reverse it so that these kids aren't staying up all night. Go get your homework done. Right. But we have that same problem with the football team and the other basketball team.
And drugs.
Drugs and
all those kinds of things. I have to do special reports for students that are in the ROTC or in anything to do with any of athletics. I have to do a special report to say, are they coming to class? Are they attending? Do they need to meet with an advisor? Like, I don't have to do that for any other student. I only have to do it for the ones that are getting paid to go here. Why do I do this?
Yeah, I would just add too. It's important to understand that like video gaming competitive video gaming is something that brings in revenue too now. Like that is a thing that is building momentum. I think we had a League of Legends player last year during one of the tournaments that won the largest gaming pot of money that's ever existed. There's like a $1.5 million pot for winning this contest. Like there's real money being made in these things, whether it's StarCraft or League of Legends or Halo or whatever. Like the reality is,
no, I totally agree with you.
It is a skill-based activity.
As soon as there is a tournament for LBK3, we can all enter, and we'll take the money.
Or Resogun. We'll just do a Resogun run.
I'm down for Resogun.
Did I say LBK? I meant Little Big Planet. LBK.
I was kind of wondering about that.
Yeah, I meant Little Big Planet. But yes,
by the way,
too.
So off topic, but also
we got about 60 more seconds.
Yeah, so they just released new Resogun DLC that lets you custom build your own ships.
Ooh.
And I have seen ships the shape of the Futurama
Yes.
I have seen Mega Man and Iron Man ships. I have seen floating eyeballs. It is super, super cool. So I think we need to get
people
together
are
and do another
doing
live
this,
stream.
right?
Yeah.
I'm down.
So anyway, this has been episode 17, guys. Episode 17 in the bag. We've been doing this for 17 weeks.
I've never done anything that long before.
That's a long time.
Yeah, what's the KitCast?
If I had started exercising when we started this podcast, do you know what kind of shape I would be in right now? Better than I am right now.
Swole?
That's the
you could
kind of
just swole on?
What would I be playing? I'd probably be playing Animal Crossing right now, guys. I mean,
we're breaking her out of her shell.
I know.
Rachel would be playing Animal Crossing, and
I got a wolf to move into my town.
Nice, but you would also be paying for Xbox Live and
I know.
paying for Netflix.
I don't think your joy would be as full. Your joy would not be as full without us.
My Xbox isn't even plugged in to my HDMI.
And no one would watch us if it wasn't for you, so it's a give and take.
And I'm not naked right now. I have a tank top on.
It's true.
But if it helps, you can pretend I'm naked.
Our viewers are gonna drop. Oh man!
Rachel just betrayed us.
You
weren't supposed to tell anyone.
I know. I'm all so tense.
I'm gonna hike up my sleeves. Hold on. See if I can pull a little more skin out.
This is my dragon. This is my bear. And this is my.
How many do you have again? You have like 20, right?
10.
10. I'm just adding them.
Rachel, I have keyblades on my thighs, but
the tattoo. I thought they were egg beaters when I first thought those keys.
You know, lots of people they stare. They stare at me as if I don't know that they're staring at me, and then they're like, it's just like Channing Tatum. I just watch a light bulb in their head. They're like, oh, keys. Are they keys? And then they just keep staring, and then I stare at them to let them know I know they were staring.
That's funny.
All right, take us home.
So this has been episode 17. Thank you for joining us. We are super pumped that, if anyone checked in, we're super pumped that they did check in. This will be released in the next day or two. And, yeah. So be sure to follow us at LittleBigKast on Twitter. Send us your emails. We are LittleBigKast at ktdata.net. And you can also find us on the webs, littlebigcast.com. So, yeah. Adios, people. Thanks for joining us.
Night-night. Bye.
Cool.
That's your golf clap?
That was the most quiet golf clap I've ever heard.
Austin and Felix all did the golf tournament.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, we're just radio stations being sporty, and we're sucking at it.
That's okay. Should I record a quick intro real fast?
Yes, I wrote down some stuff that happened.
You're a genius. What
I know.
happened?
So Drew got Twinkies. He also disappeared. Jeff, you talked about how good things feel in your hands. You were talking about the controller. You also talked about child-proofing your house. Drew's a peppermint sniffer. And hashtag no moms, no rules. That's what I got. That was what's funny. That's what was funny to me.
What did Rachel say that was funny?
That she's not naked?
Not naked.
That's what we'll start with.
There's a guy shoulders in this episode.
There's a poor guy in the chat room right now who's actually really upset because you're not naked. In fact, he's mad because he's calling us fags and like no one watches our show. Because he caught the live stream where there's only 2 people when we go live, so he's having issues with that. Sorry, buddy. It's all right. It's all right. There's a lot of people that listen after the fact. You just happened to catch us on the front end.
He's actually pissed.
Oh yeah, he's going off.
Right now?
Yeah.
What is this? I want to see this.
YouTube. Hit the YouTube link. The LBP is the gayest thing ever. Guys suck so bad. At least he dropped all the caps.
I bet he's 7 or like.
Yeah, maybe 7. Everything he's doing
13.
is like. Anyway.
That's okay. Anyway,
it's hilarious. All right.
Let's record the outro. All right.
Whoa, that was an echo. Hit the YouTube link. Yeah. What else?
What did Rachel do? I just blocked him, by the way.
Some more Nate Drake. Some more Lobo. I have tattoos. And
Can you?
oh, I'm stuck with this lady doing her stupid video.
Oh, also, hang on. Well, I guess we're not recording anymore, but we are still live. So Hawks on Locks Hawks on
Got it.
Locks tweeted at us and said they give scholarships for chess. Why not video games? I agree with that. And our homeboy Freddie just tweeted at us, damn it, I missed the podcast, but I did see the tattoo show.
Retweet that. That's funny.
Very nice.
Right on. So, are we ready for this?
Yep.
All right.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me grab this. So you have this skill. Okay, your lead. Let's go.
Are we good? All right.
Yep.
Well, what's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 17 of the LittleBigKast. I'm going to start that again. Blah, blah, blah.
Like boy.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 17 of the LittleBigKast. My name is Jeff Hawks. I'm your host for today's show, and we are the official PlayStation podcast of the KT Data Network.
Yeah.
On today's show, Rachel doesn't get naked. Drew has a Twinkie fetish.
Yep. So
Jeff prepares for a month without. Yeah, Jeff prepares for a month without his wife. So all this and more coming up on episode 17 of the LittleBigKast. First of all, though, what do you guys think a Twinkie fetish would be? That's kind
I
of
don't know. That's a little.
I just think it's
crazy.
dirty because Twinkies can be
just so bad.
And they're
sexually used for many things. I think.
Can they? Really?
I read the top
read?
5 fetishes somewhere. Okay, I think it was shoes, feet, leather, piercings, and I don't remember the last one. But those were the
Ding
4 that I
dongs.
remember.
Wow. Yeah, that I can understand. A ding dong fetish would be bad
Little
news.
Debbies.
Did you see the Rev Project on YouTube wrote? I always pretend Rachel is naked. LOL.
Oh, that's nice, guys.
Yeah. These are our solid fans.
That's awesome.
Let's kill the
Our
feed
solid
with that.
fans or my solid fans?
Yeah, I don't think anyone but Rachel has fans.
Mm.
Do you want to hop to? You want to kill the feed, Drew?
You recorded it, right? Yeah, I can knock this off.
Yeah, we
I
can
didn't
all go
record
away.
anything. You should
Well, I
have
mean-
been recording it.
No, it's no, it's yeah. You've spilled your piece, so I can back off now.
Yeah, cool. All right.
All right. See you guys on the flip side.
Or
Later,
what?
guys.
Who's
Thanks for
gonna put